A small corner of the garden changed everything. Not with expensive fertilizers. Not with rare soil mixes. It happened with one simple hack, one that started as a quiet experiment and turned into the biggest gardening breakthrough I've ever seen. It began on a morning when my raised beds looked tired, compacted, and lifeless. Plants were surviving, not thriving. Growth was slow, leaves were dull, and the soil felt like it had lost its spirit. That morning, instead of giving up, I decided to try something unexpected, something that would shock me weeks later. The raised bed in front of me told a story written in the soil. Months of planting, watering, sun, and decay had left it drained. Every gardener knows this moment, the point when the soil stops responding. You add compost, you mix fertilizers, you till the surface. But the magic just doesn't return. That's when I stumbled upon a simple strategy, hidden in plain sight, that would completely revive the bed from the inside out. Not over weeks. Not over months. But in days. The breakthrough began with a realization: plants don't thrive because soil looks dark, or because it's soft and fluffy on the surface. They thrive because the soil underneath is alive, bursting with microorganisms, moisture pathways, and natural nutrients. Raised beds often look healthy on top but starve underneath. And that's exactly where my hack goes to work. Instead of treating the surface, it awakens the entire soil structure from below, creating a nutrient engine that feeds plants without constant care. So what did I do? I added layers, but not the layers you might expect. No complicated lasagna gardening. No expensive compost deliveries. Instead, I used the most overlooked, underestimated materials lying around the garden: kitchen scraps, shredded sticks, half-decomposed leaves, and a surprisingly powerful moisture-locking base. What happened next stunned me. The hack works like this: instead of mixing everything into the soil, which disrupts fungal networks and harms beneficial microbes, you lift just the top 3 inches and lay down a deep living layer. This layer becomes a slow-release nutrient battery. The scraps break down, fungi colonize the bed, earthworms move in, and the entire soil ecosystem shifts from depleted to explosive. When I pressed the soil weeks later, it was bouncy, full of air pockets and moisture, exactly what plant roots crave. What makes this hack so powerful is the transformation you can actually feel. When the soil becomes alive, roots spread easier, water holds longer, and nutrients reach plants with almost no effort. Every seedling I planted afterward responded instantly. Leaves turned greener within days. Growth accelerated at a pace I'd never seen in my own garden. And the best part? This method required no chemicals, no back-breaking work, and no complicated ratios. As weeks passed, the raised bed looked completely reborn. Plants were fuller, stronger, and more vibrant. The harvest doubled. Every visitor to my garden asked the same question: what did you add to your soil? And every time, I smiled and said the same thing: I didn't add anything special. I just rebuilt the life underneath. Let's break down the process, because this isn't just a hack, it's a soil revolution. Start by clearing the bed lightly, removing only large debris but leaving small roots behind. Those tiny roots decompose into natural nutrients and create channels for air and water. Then lift the top layer gently. Don't dig, don't turn, just lift. This preserves the living structure. Under that layer is where the transformation begins. Add a thick base layer of old sticks, small branches, or wood chips. This creates long-term aeration and moisture retention. Above that, add shredded leaves or grass clippings. These break down into rich humus. Then comes the secret ingredient: kitchen scraps, vegetable peels, fruit cores, coffee grounds. These feed microorganisms that multiply rapidly. As they multiply, the soil wakes up. Top everything with a thin layer of compost and settle the raised soil back down. You don't bury the layer deeply. You let it breathe. Then water lightly, allowing nature to activate the bed. The change begins invisibly, but the results appear quickly, almost unexpectedly. The beauty of this hack isn't in what you add, but in how each layer works together. Wood holds moisture. Leaves create softness. Scraps feed microbes. Compost seals everything. The synergy creates a soil environment that becomes self-maintaining, self-healing, and incredibly productive. Within a month, I saw earthworms, dozens of them, curling through the bed. That alone confirmed I was on the right path. Worms only stay where they find moisture and food, and this hack created both. They tunnel through the soil, loosening it naturally and leaving behind nutrient-rich castings. Every plant that grows in worm-active soil grows faster and stronger. That's exactly what my raised bed turned into, a worm paradise. And it didn't stop there. The fungal networks returned. These delicate white threads that gardeners often overlook are actually the backbone of soil health. They transport water and nutrients, protect roots from stress, and even increase plant immunity. When the soil is alive with fungi, plants live with confidence. And that's what you want, confident plants that reach their full potential. The most dramatic moment came when I harvested my first batch of vegetables after using this hack. The size, color, and flavor were noticeably different. Tomatoes were juicier. Greens were richer. Even the herbs had more fragrance. This wasn't just a small improvement. It was a complete transformation, one that came from rebuilding my raised bed from the bottom up. And here's the part that truly amazed me: this hack saved water. The layered foundation absorbed and held moisture so effectively that I watered half as often. Even during hot days, the soil stayed cool and damp underneath. That not only saved time but protected plants from stress. Healthy soil is like a shield, it supports plants through weather changes, pests, and nutrient swings. If your raised beds ever feel tired, compacted, or unresponsive, try this method once. You'll feel like you've unlocked a secret every gardener deserves to know. This oil won't just look healthier, it will respond with strength, energy, and abundance. And when your garden gives back like that, every effort feels worth it. This hack taught me something bigger than gardening: small unseen changes create massive visible results. When you nourish what's underneath, everything above becomes extraordinary. Plants don't thrive because of luck. They thrive because the foundation is alive. Your raised bed can transform the same way. You just have to activate it. Start with what you have, trust the layers, and let nature take over the rest. Once the soil wakes up, your garden becomes unstoppable. And every time you harvest from that transformed bed, you'll remember the day you rebuilt your soil from the inside out, one simple hack at a time.